Okay, let's be real for a second. Have you ever asked an AI to create something for you? A presentation, a report, anything visual? And what you get back is fine? It's functional, but it just doesn't have that spark. It feels a little bland. Well, today, we're going to fix that. For good.
And this quote? It just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that feeling. You get something that feels like a starting point, a first draft, when what you really wanted was something that felt finished and professional right out of the gate.
And this right here is the gap we're all trying to close. You see it on the left, the typical kind of template-y AI output. And on the right, that's the goal. Something that looks and feels like a professional put their hands on it. Thoughtful, refined, and intentional. So the big question is, how do we get from here to there?
Well, first, we have to understand what we're up against, and that's what I call the generic trap. See, without very specific expert guidance, an AI is always going to aim for the middle. It's designed to give you the most common, average response. It's functional, sure, but it's not exceptional. It doesn't have a point of view. It's our job to give it one.
So what if we could do more than just write better prompts? What if we could actually build our own expertise into the AI? Teach it to think like an expert, to have a strong opinion, and to push for excellence all on its own.
And that brings us to this idea, the design director vision. The whole goal here is to transform our AI from a simple tool that just takes orders into a true creative partner. It's like we're promoting our AI from a junior assistant to a seasoned design director who has taste, experience, and a really strong point of view.
And the way we do this is by building what we'll call a reusable skill. Think of it like a little package of expertise that embodies this design director persona. Once the AI has this skill, it can use it anytime, which means it will never ever settle for that generic, first draft quality work again.
So what does this AI design director actually do? Well, we're basically programming it with a new set of behaviors. It starts with a functional base, but then it systematically elevates it. It questions everything, the typography, the color, the layout. It's trained to look at world-class examples for inspiration. And most importantly, it makes sure the final result feels bespoke. Not like it just rolled off a template assembly line.
So how do we actually build this brain for our AI? It's not just magic. It's a really structured approach that's built on 5 core reference files. Together, these files make up the anatomy of the skill.
And here they are. Each one of these plays a super important role. The interrogation checklist? That's its inner critic. The technique catalog is its toolbox of pro-level moves. The reference library? That's its inspiration board, its mood board. The elevation protocol is its step-by-step workflow for getting better. And finally, the design philosophy is its North Star, making sure it balances bold ideas with really good taste.
Let's just double-click on one of these for a second, the reference library. Honestly, this is absolutely crucial. An AI, just like a human designer, develops taste by studying great work. It's simple. If you want excellent output, you have to feed it excellent examples. You are literally curating its sense of style. And we're not just talking about random images from a Google search. No way. We're talking about very specific, world-class design systems and philosophies. Think about the super clean, elegant interfaces of companies like Stripe and Linear, or the minimalist brilliance of Apple, or even foundational principles from design history like Bauhaus and Swiss design. This is the canon we're teaching from. Okay, so our AI has its references, it has its philosophy. Now let's look at the actual process it follows to refine its work. This is the elevation protocol, and you can think of it as the engine that drives that whole transformation from generic to genius. This process makes it all feel really concrete. First, the AI makes a basic, functional draft. But then, and this is the key part, it stops and interrogates its own choices using that checklist we talked about. It then consults its library for inspiration, applies specific techniques from its catalog, and only then, after all that, does it deliver the final polished output.
But let's look a little closer at that second step, because it's really the heart of this entire system. What does it actually mean for an AI to interrogate its own work? What kind of questions is it really asking itself?
This is basically what that internal monologue looks like. It's asking professional-grade questions. Is the typography creating a clear hierarchy? Does the color palette actually help the information? Is the spacing intentional? Oh man, that last one is huge. Intentional spacing is one of the biggest things that separates amateur from professional work. The AI is forcing itself to justify every single decision it makes.
Now I know we've been focused on design, but this method is about so much more. The design example is really just a case study for a much, much bigger idea.
how to take your unique professional expertise and amplify it with AI.
You've got to see this as a universal blueprint. The 5 components we just went through, the checklist, the library, the whole thing, that's a system you can use to structure and scale any kind of specialized knowledge, not just design. It's about codifying what you know so an AI can apply it consistently over and over again.
Just think about the possibilities. Imagine a financial analyst skill that doesn't just give you numbers, but presents them with the nuanced perspective of a seasoned expert. Or a legal review skill that flags things in a contract based on the principles of a top lawyer. Or how about a marketing strategy skill that critiques a plan based on proven growth frameworks? The list just goes on and on.
So, we'll end on a question for you. This really isn't just about making better-looking slides. It's about creating a true expert partner that embodies your knowledge and your standards. It's a new way to scale your most valuable asset, your expertise. So what unique skill of yours is ready to be amplified?